What's up, everyone, and welcome to Battle Talk, episode 12, brought to you by the Gamebreaker Nation, for the community, from the community. This is a Blizzard podcast, all things Blizzard. I'm your host, Zista, aka Dom. With me, we have my co-hosts, Mike.
Hi.
How's it going?
It's going well.
It's going well.
Mm-hmm.
How do you like the fact I stole your wife's background this week?
Yeah, everybody, just for the record, Dom, as you know from watching our show, likes to green screen in different backgrounds. That's my wife's streaming station right there that he just decided to capture, and I hate him.
It's best. And we have Cody, aka Can't Heals.
What's up?
He did it!
How's it going?
Hi.
That spin.
And for
I know,
sport.
right? You know, it's been
And now we go to Cody for sports. Cody?
for sports. Sports. Denver beat San Francisco 34-0 today.
Oh.
There's
Impressive.
sports.
Goddamn. Sucks to be San Francisco.
So,
Who cares
how's it
if it's
going
season?
tonight, guys?
It's going well.
Oh, well.
Going very well.
Oh, very well.
I
All right,
guess.
so we have the Gamebreaker Nation. If you guys have not heard of us, we're an online community of gamers spanning across multiple games, everything from World of Warcraft, Elder Scrolls Online, Final Fantasy XIV, WildStar, Guild Wars 2. I even just started an unofficial little group for a mobile game that we've been playing, Battle Clan or something. I forget what it's called. A lot of fun.
yeah.
We're doing all kinds of stuff. We're doing Mario Kart. We've been playing Mario Kart. And speaking of which, Mike, didn't I let you borrow my Mario Kart last week?
You did indeed. It's now upside down.
Can I have that back?
You want this Mario Kart back?
I do.
Alright, hold on. We're going to give it back. The cheesy segment.
Oh, thanks.
You're welcome, sir.
You
That's so cheesy.
I know.
the game's not in it.
Oh. I'll fix that.
Oh.
Excuse me, everybody. I will fix
Okay.
that right this second.
Yeah. So, we had a lot of awesome WoW news this week. We had the cinematic reveal, right?
It's awesome.
Holy shit, who knows that when you steal a background for a green screen, you steal a person? That's Ladybug. Here.
Oh, thank you.
Here.
What? Okay.
You did it. You did it. I didn't do it.
I don't. How did you get here so fast?
That was a surreal friggin' experience right there.
How
Like,
did you- how
some
did you-
portal-ass shit going on.
Did you just take the dark portal?
I don't know what just happened.
No, 'cause obviously it's not completed. Did you not look over my shoulder? I'm still in the middle of building it.
I don't know what just happened. Like,
The-
wow. I'm kind of I'm shaking, actually. Like, I went to get the
confused.
I got the disc out of my Wii, and then all of a sudden I'm in somewhere else.
Boy, like I said, you didn't take the dark portal. It's still behind me.
Yeah, it's broken.
It's still being
Not
built.
Why am I looking behind me? There's nothing behind
I
me.
don't know. You
Hi,
got a
wall.
wall.
Hi, Diablo poster that I got
Anyway,
at BlizzCon
so-
2009. I love it.
So speaking of the dark portal, we had the cinematic reveal trailer, right?
Uh-huh.
What did you guys think of the trailer? Well, actually, before I start that, is the whole event. Cody, you were there for that, right?
Lucky bastard.
Ha-ha! Yes, I was.
What was it like to actually be in attendance to that?
Personally, it was awesome just for the fact that obviously Shafnet was there, so I got to hang out with him, talk to him for a little bit. When I first got there, I had sat down in the theater, which is actually really small, but they've got like an upper balcony or whatever. But I was like, I think 5 rows from the stage on the right-hand side, which there's only like, I think 10 rows for just press or fan sites. And I took a real quick picture before they like yelled at us because there wasn't supposed to be photography or whatever going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I got the back of Tally's head. I'm like,
Oh, you were sitting behind Tally?
yeah. I'm like, I think I just got the back of Tally's head. So I thought it was him. So I tapped his shoulder, talked to him for a little bit, and then right next to him is Bajira. And I started talking to him, where I was like talking to him about our show and stuff like that. So that was kind of fun. And then Zarheim was sitting right behind me and Shaftnit for the rest of the show.
That's cool.
The community managers were all with us, stuff like that. But it was fun.
Yeah, that's
Really
so
quick.
Was there anything that was in attendance for being there that we didn't get to see on the stream?
No, pretty much everything that you saw on the stream is what we saw. I mean, when I got there, I grabbed my first beta key, immediately got in, sat down, and then they kicked off the show. And as soon as they were done with the show, they pretty much kicked us out. And I grabbed another key.
Kind of thirsty. Yeah, my that's empty.
Mine's not.
I ran out of a drink, so I wish a drink would just like fall into my lap. That would be amazing. Oh, look at that! I don't even like Canada Dry. That's terrible. Oh, Sprite. That's basically the same thing. No. Oh, Fanta, orange.
I'll take that.
What I would really like is a Dr. Pepper. Wow, this is amazing. I love living next to the dark portal because things just start flying in this room. It's amazing.
That's awesome. I would really like a rum and coke right now.
I still don't know how that happens because
You don't live in the dark portal.
I know.
It
can't
ain't
get
done
rum and
yet,
cokes to
so
fall
I
out
don't
of the sky.
I don't know how you have one.
There's nothing happening here. I'm very sad.
It's amazing. That's what it is.
So,
I'm living next to the dark portal. That's all it is.
but other than that, we got like I showed you guys in the pre-show. They gave us a poster too, and
Oh yeah, that looked pretty cool.
then they had coffee and pastries for us if we wanted to partake. But like by the time I got out, like they're all gone. So, and I'm not gonna go there because it would be really offensive. I'm just gonna end it there.
Interesting. I'm seeing in chat. Judah Wild Thing says, "You say that now, but wait until the orcs start spilling out."
Yeah, that's
We don't
no
even know
bueno.
if the orcs are coming. We don't even know.
Well, they're obviously not.
So, all right. So we had the cinematic trailer.
The orcs are coming.
What did you guys think of the trailer itself?
I liked it. The opinion, I watched it, and then 5 minutes after it was uploaded, I watched it again with my wife, and we both agreed that if Blizzard ever gets tired of the game thing, they can go into making movies full time because it was high quality, well done, great stuff,
Yeah.
Yep.
and it was just awesome.
I'm still okay. So with this cinematic trailer, I like how they kind of harken back to trying to explain the lore and getting all those people that didn't play, Warcraft 1, Warcraft 2. It kind of gets them up to speed to where we're at in World of Warcraft. Yes, the cinematics are good. If you kind of watch the new cinematic that we've seen, and then go back and watch the old cinematic where it's Grommash from
Warcraft 3.
Yeah, Warcraft 3, and he actually dies. You can actually see when Manaroth dies in the new one and he dies in the old one. It's a mirror image.
Yeah, they the end of the Orc campaign in Warcraft 3. It's Thrall and Grom Hellscream. They corner Manaroth in a cave or whatever, wherever they are.
So my question, because you guys are a little more versed in the lore than I am. The orcs originally they did drink the blood of Manaroth.
Yes.
Right? Manaroth? Is that, yeah.
Yes.
But in this cinematic, they decided not to drink the blood. Right?
Thanks to some jerk.
But
Who
Garrosh
names?
wasn't even there in the cinematic, was he? I didn't see him one time in the cinematic.
He was the
He was
hooded
there.
orc.
He was the hooded orc?
When you're watching the cinematic and Grom grabs the cup and kind of sniffs it, and I'm gonna start chuckling because I watched a video that put in fart sound bites into that. It's funny, but when he looks back over his shoulder, you can see a hooded orc and he nods, and that's Garrosh.
Okay, so there was Garrosh influence there. I'm sorry, I don't know if this is racist or not, but all those orcs look alike. So
Now, okay, so
Not cool.
Speaking of that,
I don't
speaking of
I don't
books-
mean to offend. That's not what I'm saying.
Speaking
It's
of
just
books-
I couldn't tell. Like they didn't call him Garrosh. Like if they stated his name, it would have been a little more clear. I've seen
Yeah.
Garrosh a million times, right? And to me, for whatever reason, I didn't recognize that as Garrosh. So I'm like, how is this all changing when Garrosh didn't get there? Like the Dark Portal isn't built. So to me, as a casual viewer, not as a hardcore lore nerd, I didn't understand really why it changed. So I was really confused on that.
I can see with some people coming, say they haven't played they skipped Mist. You know, they're stuck in Kata or whatever, didn't play Mist, and they're coming into Warlords with their free 90 or whatever. And they watch this cinematic and they're like, okay, what happened? Why is Garrosh now in this time period? Because they missed this whole raid of Siege of Orgrimmar. They missed him getting arrested, and if they didn't read the book, they didn't know that he escaped.
Right.
So I kind of get that, but at the same time,
There needs to be a little something somewhere, like a quick, lore refresher. Like, here's a quick 3-minute things like, while you were gone during Mists of Pandaria, this crap happened. Garrosh was a jackass, and now he's being a bigger jackass.
That would be pretty cool. I like that.
well, I'm wondering if they're going to do something like that with 6.0 with the pre-patch events where they somewhat explain what's going on.
It's
They're
possible.
gonna almost have to.
I do feel like they're going to explain it a little bit better in game because no, we are seeing the cinematic out of sequence because technically this is going to happen during the after the events of 6.0, obviously.
Right.
So there's going to be some stuff that happens in there that's going to help transition it a little bit better. But just straight up watching the cinematic, I was a little confused there. With it, we got Lords of War, which was another little short which kind of explains the background of some of these characters.
Yeah.
Is very, very similar art style to the Burdens of Shao, except I believe this one was done a lot better.
Yeah, they had a lot more time on it.
Yeah, it was very well done. I liked it a lot.
But I don't know if you caught this, and I caught it actually at the event, and I talked to Shafnit about this. If you look at the Warlords of Draenor wallpaper, like the press release wallpaper where it shows all the warlords,
Right.
right? Blade Fist, because I can't remember his first name.
Kargath Bladefist.
Thank you. His blade is on his right hand,
But he cut off his left hand.
but he cut off his left hand in the trailer. Or
I
in this short episode.
remember reading
What
about that.
the hell?
Not that I gotta find it. I remember reading somewhere that his whole clan, they remove, their
Their
left
left
hands.
Yeah. But in this poster, it's his right. This
I-
is going back to the damn dual wielding of pole arms
Right.
in the artwork for Mist of Pandaria.
I'm
Their
gonna
art team
believe-
and their lore team just don't
I'm
talk
gonna
to each
believe, yeah, I'm gonna believe what happened is a case of the art team accidentally mirroring the image to make it flow a little bit better, and didn't
I
take
can-
into
yeah.
consideration that hand was specific. So
Whatever. It was
I'm-
an
I'm-
awesome. It was an awesome poster.
It is.
I'm not
It
gonna.
is, and it's on the back of the Warlords of Draenor T-shirt. If you purchased one last year at BlizzCon or ordered one through the shop or whatever, it's on the back of the shirt. So
other. You know what they could have done though? They could have moved him on the other side.
They could have. They could have just inverted the whole picture,
Yeah.
and
It would
but-
have made sense.
like I said,
No.
I'm sure it's just a glitch. The art team probably didn't think very deeply into it, and it happens.
Somewhat.
Continuity errors happen all the time.
Some forgot to hit the or adjust image, rotate horizontally on Photoshop.
Exactly. So we got the release date. Right. What were your guys' predictions before the release date is November 13th? It's like the Thursday
After BlizzCon.
Thursday after BlizzCon.
I just
1
want
week
to,
from BlizzCon.
for the record, last week state that I was 2 days off.
I said October.
I said November 11th, so I was 2 days off.
I
But
said December.
You,
I
you
did
do
know. I do remember on episode 1 we had a very big debate with Mike Schaffnet, and I hate to say it, so I'm not going to. But I had a feeling it was going to be after BlizzCon, but even though I was going out on a stretch and saying December, I kind of knew in the back of my mind it had to be out before the Black Friday sales because that's when a lot of people do their holiday shopping.
Right.
So from a business standpoint, it makes sense to have it out before then. So I should have factored that into my decision.
Now, here's a quick question. Considering that it's coming out right after BlizzCon, what kind of WoW stuff do you think we're going to see at BlizzCon?
None. Everyone's going to be broke and they can't buy Warlords. This is going to be the slowest, I don't know, launch, whatever you want to call, making them money the slowest. Everyone's going to waste their money at BlizzCon like they should, including me, and they're not going to be able to buy Warlords.
When it comes to actual Warlords content, I don't know how much we're going to see. I'm sure they're going to have floor demos and stuff like that, but by then most people that want to be will be in the beta at that point. So most people going to BlizzCon are probably in the beta anyway. But they'll probably do like the whole art panel discussion, and we'll get a lot of that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
as far as presentation, I don't think we're really going to get much new information. We may get a first look at the next patch. That'll probably...
I think we'll start hearing stuff about 6.1 and possibly the next raid.
Yeah, that's what I figured too. I just wanted to put the question out there. Because maybe even the final raid stuff, because they mentioned some stuff about that.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah.
We got a question on that.
So the Warlords of Draenor Collector's Edition has finally been announced.
Pre-ordered.
And yeah, I pre-ordered mine. Fortunately, GameStop did not have it available the day of. I got it the next day. So,
Well, I've
Yeah.
got mine through Amazon, but I need to either tweet Blizzard or get a hold of one of their community devs and ask them if they're planning on doing their launch party again down in Irvine, so I can run down there and pre-order at GameStop.
I'm sure
down
they'll have
there.
something because it's always a big deal for them, and the
Yeah.
fact that they're right there. So,
Yeah.
I see them having a release party.
We'll see.
But what would be even cooler is everybody that went to BlizzCon has the chance to get them there, go home with them. Like that would be awesome. And
I got a
have them
better
all
idea.
signed, and I don't know, that would be cool.
I got a better idea.
What's that?
Or they are going to do what they said they wouldn't do and bring back the annual pass and give Warlords away for free to everybody who signs up for the annual pass.
That would be terrible. Most people already bought it. That would be an awful idea. But the collector's edition is going for $90. Do you guys think that's a lot for a collector's edition?
I mean, what have the rest been? 80?
No, I think this was 80.
I think the first one was 80.
I don't remember what the
I don't-
first one was.
Or was
I
it
think they were all
60?
80, weren't they?
Was the first one 60?
No, the first one wasn't 60. The first one I thought was 70 or 80. I don't remember. It's been so long.
Yeah, I thought the original game was 50, and then the collector's was 60. I thought no, it was $20 more. So yeah,
I mean, I pulled
If
up.
you-
it was 80.
I pulled up
If you
the
look at
summary.
how collector's editions are
there's all
running
the
now.
collector's edition stuff.
If you look at how collector's editions are running now, you've got Titanfall collector's edition, what, $250.
Oh yeah,
um,
Jesus.
Call of Duty's coming out. They're like 100 to like $150. Destiny's is 175,
Yes.
125, something like that.
No,
125,
it's
175, something like that.
Something. I
So
haven't-
like $90 is actually on the low end of the collector's editions, which is fine by me.
Yeah, I mean, you're not getting anything crazy. I mean, if you take a look at it, you get, a behind-the-scenes DVD, a mouse pad, art book,
All the typical.
the other typical. You get
it's all the typical whatever you get in the
yeah,
last
you
one. You're getting
mount
some-
a pet, you get StarCraft portraits, banner stuff for Diablo, and you get a Hearthstone card back.
See now,
Nothing for heroes.
that's the interesting thing to me is the Hearthstone card back, because for the release of the Diablo 3 Collector's Edition, we did not get a card back. Here, Hearthstone, I think, was still in... Was it still in
It
beta?
was beta. It was an open
It
beta.
wasn't released until December. When was
Yeah.
when did Diablo come out?
What, Reaper of Souls? March, right? Was
Okay,
it
so
March?
Hearthstone came out of beta in December, the end of December. So yeah, it was already live. So at that point, all we got was card packs for having the collector's edition. We got to open 3 card packs or something like that. A maximum of 5 if other people had shared the codes that were in the game for you. So I believe that they've already stated, I think they clarified this on Twitter, that the digital version will also be getting the Warlords card back. So
All right.
if you choose not to get the physical box copy and you go the digital route, because I think the digital route is only $10 more than
Normal.
the normal version. So
Do you think that they're going to add something for Heroes in later? Or no?
Nope.
I don't think we're gonna get anything until Heroes goes live.
All right. Well, they gave us, if you pre-ordered Reaper of Souls, you get Vala free when Heroes goes live.
Right.
So
you
you would think they would do the
I
same
think that
with
fell flat on their
Warlords.
face.
That's a good point. I could see them adding it in after as like a incentive as it gets closer, because that's actually what they did with Diablo. They announced it the month that Diablo came out.
Right.
So if they're going to do that, then that's probably the route they'll take for Draenor as well.
Okay.
So we learned a little bit about the new legendary item. It's going to be a quest chain for a legendary ring, right?
Weird.
That begins at level 99, so you get to start the quest before you even hit max level, which is really interesting. It's supposedly, I got to use finger quotations there.
Sorry, I'm late.
Less,
Hey.
you're late. But it's supposedly less grindy than Mr. Pandaria's
Thank
quest
God.
line. So
I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, it was grindy, but it's for a legendary weapon. It's got to involve a grind. I mean, a legendary, cloak. So it's got to have a grind. And I'm curious, how much can you get done at level 99? I mean, you could start it at level 99.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, how far will it let you get? I mean, you're probably going to have to be level 100 and go through raids for most of it.
The interesting part that they also said is it's going to have some kind of a like a glowing effect or something. Like there's going to be some visual effect that you're going to see. So is it going to like sparkle? Your finger's going to sparkle to let you know you're wearing a ring? Like what?
Bling bling.
I mean the cloak that had the whole
I've already
back,
got an
like,
issue
light
with
up.
this. Yeah, I've already got an issue with this because rings you don't see on my character.
You don't see
'em.
rings,
You don't see
necklaces,
rings.
trinkets. Yeah.
You don't see that crap. So why the hell would I want to go and get a ring for legendary stats if nobody is ever going to see it?
He's got a
Stats.
point.
Min-maxing.
Who cares?
I care.
I could probably get a better ring in
I
LFR.
guarantee you can't.
If they make
I'm
it,
gonna find it.
Do you have a better cape than the legendary cape?
I don't have the legendary, so no.
There you go. Well, dude,
yeah.
that's
See,
point proven right there. I don't care if you have the legendary. You
don't
should have
wanna
one that's
go
better
do that
than under your
grind.
logic.
I hate grinding rep as a healer, so I'm not going to do it.
it'll probably be something just like the cloak, something where it is best in slot for your class. Period.
What is it going to trigger? A foam finger? It's going to pop up on your hand saying, I'm number one?
Oh God. Foam finger, put a little glowy effect
that
above
better-
your head.
That's it. It's a new emote. You get a brand new emote if you get that ring. It tells everybody they're number one.
You no longer walk, you now slide along the ground every time you go somewhere.
Yeah.
No,
Chat, make
if
the
I
ring
can't see it, I don't care.
make the ring give you an aura. You just glow.
Be interesting. Depends on how they go about it.
Yeah, that
I got to wait to see more before I can accurately judge, but I'd like to see the foam finger, so Blizzard, if you're listening, make it happen. Also on this quest chain, we're supposedly getting other legendary items along the way, kind of like we did with this quest chain, right? It started out with, they weren't legendary, so to speak,
There's
but
gems and stuff like that.
there was the legendary gem, there was the Meta socket, and
Yeah.
or the helmet socket, whatever it was, for the gem, and different things like that. So
It'll
it's not
probably be
really super surprising, but there'll probably be lesser legendaries that you will outgrow, and they're not gonna, like, the ring seems like something that's gonna start right away, and it's gonna keep upgrading as you do the quest chain and get better and better. So you're not gonna replace it in the 6.2 raid, or whatever.
Yeah. I want to say that this is it. It almost sounds like they're just going to kind of do the same thing that they did with Mists and keep it. You know, you get a legendary gem, like you progressively upgrade your legendary to the ring. So you're going to get, you know, some standard ring, or you're going to start getting, you know, the socket and the gems for the ring, and like the final quest, you'll actually get the ring, and you can add that legendary socket to it, and then the legendary gem.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I like that.
So, all right, last expansion 2 years ago, before the game even came out, we knew the Garrosh was going to be the final boss. Some of us cheered. We were excited because at the time everybody's like, "Oh, Garrosh is such a dick." You know, it'll be nice to fight him. But it kind of ruined the mood of the expansion because it almost like if you didn't know that and the way that this expansion unfolded, that would have been a nice surprise to come to. Wondering who this last boss is going to be and see, like you would have known, yeah, Garrosh is going downhill, but you still probably would not have guessed that he was going to be the end boss. Would you ever think the final raid was going to be Orgrimmar?
Unless I was told, like I was ahead of time, no, I wouldn't have.
So that kind of ruined things for us. They didn't learn their lesson, though. They revealed who the final boss is going to be this time around, and it's going to be another orc, which I'm not 100% sure, but everywhere under the sun that people are accusing, pointing fingers. Chris Metzen at BlizzCon last year stated that it wouldn't be an orc. I can't confirm that because I don't recall. But, yeah, Grommash is going to be the final boss. What are your guys' opinions on that?
it makes sense.
It kind of does.
It does, but I don't want to see that.
Lore-wise, it makes sense because Grommash has to die at some point. Now, granted, they could change it, and you know, they could have him die in the middle of the expansion, but to have him as the final boss, it rolls right into the next expansion, which we all know what it's going to be. Anyways, we know that the Burning Legion is going to have to show its ugly face at some point. Mm-hmm. But having him die as the final boss, you know, in this expansion, transitioning into the Burning Legion makes sense because he has to die for the Burning Legion to make sense in our current lore.
Yeah, exactly. But
this is an alternate timeline. He doesn't have to die.
This is an alternate timeline, yes, but he could, you know, nothing stopping him from being brought back through, you know, the altered dark portal to come into our timeline.
We blow it up.
True, yeah, good point. We do blow it up.
You can't blow something up that's still being built.
Point.
Sure you can.
Anyway, as far as, like, I'm curious what, you know, it says that it's going to have heavy Burning Legion influence in the final raid.
Yeah, I heard that. So, alright, so Garrosh was shot infused, and Grommash is going to be burning, like, fell infused. Like,
right,
it's
so
not much different. It's history repeating itself again.
Right.
Unintended with alternate timelines and all that.
Because, you know, Grommash twice drank the blood, and twice fell to that, you know, fell taints, fell orcs
twice,
and stuff.
Once, because he didn't drink it in this timeline.
No, not in this timeline. I'm talking about in the normal timeline.
When did he drink it twice?
I remember Okay, he drank it way back when he was supposed to, when Gul'dan offered it to him. And then he drank it again during the events of Warcraft 3. During the Orc campaign, there's a mission, you gotta go find a well. Manaroth has tainted it with his blood and basically tricks Grom into drinking it.
Mm.
So, he does it twice.
Okay.
At this point,
I just want to point out real quick in chat before it goes away, and I can't read it anymore. Thadris is saying, to be fair, they kind of always announce the last boss, and then because I was going to interrupt him, but he stated in his next sentence, Death King and Lich King at least, because those two they did.
But that was the whole theme of the expansion,
right? Those two characters were very prominent in them. Garrosh would have been a surprise had we not have known. The expansions before that, we thought Illidan was the last boss the whole time, and then Killed Jaden comes out of nowhere, and like that was a surprise. That was complete shock. And Vanilla WoW was a whole different beast, so we really can't get into that.
But, you know,
if they didn't tell us these last two expansions who the bosses were, we would have been interested all the way through to the end to figure out who these guys were. There would have been theories of guessing, and I don't think, unless that boss is going to be prominent in the leveling and everything like that. Maybe Grom is going to be prominent in the leveling experience and all that, but he's not going to be the villain at that point. Like, I mean, well, maybe he will be, but not like the one that we're expecting anyway. You know.
All right.
Okay. So here's my question.
Go on.
if Grom is now been announced as the final boss of Warlords of Draenor, where's Garrosh?
Didn't they say Garrosh would be dealt with within the first content patch?
That's going to be sad if they do. Build up this whole thing just for Garrosh to go in the first tier.
Didn't
That's-
I think-
I don't
okay,
want to
so
see that. I want to see
I-
Garrosh escape again. I do. I want to see Garrosh escape, but I want to see him go away and like we not deal with him for, or even Garrosh to like redeem himself, so to speak, and
Damn
decide
it,
to
you took it.
stay in that timeline where he
No,
belongs
well,
and
okay.
feels like part of the orcs.
I wasn't gonna go that way. I was gonna say, keep him alive, or have him be in a raid before the final raid. We defeat him again. We don't kill him. We defeat him again. He escapes again, like you said. But then he comes back at the end of the expansion, at the end of that fight, and fulfills his destiny and helps out against the Burning Legion.
Hey, I just had a thought. We're talking about these alternate timeline stuff, right? What if that happens? Garrosh redeems himself or whatever, and he just stays behind, alive or dead, in the other timeline. But the final raid is in our timeline, and Grom found a way through to our timeline to fuck up our world.
It would be interesting. I'd accept that.
And that
There's
would
so much
pave
tinfoil hat.
I know. That would pave the way for another Burning Legion invasion of, our Azeroth.
And this
We-
begs
well,
to
we already know
differ.
it's coming,
This
so-
begs to bring another quick question before we. This will be the last side tangent we go on before
Okay.
we're moving on. Is the Infinite Dragonflight alive in this timeline?
Who knows?
I'm still blaming Chromie for all this stuff. We're going into different timelines
She
anyway. So.
screwed it
It's
all up.
Chromie's fault. It's Chromie's fault.
I mean, I'm just curious, does Grom fall to the Fell taint again? Or is the Burning Legion influence the Burning Legion trying to stop Grom for killing Mataroth in the other timeline?
What if Garrosh drinks the blood and turns
No,
green?
Garrosh was all against that. He was fighting for pure...
Throw that wrench into it.
I know, but he was all for pure orcs.
So, in other news, the raid schedule was revealed.
Yeah, go. Just talk
Do you like
more
that,
stuff.
Do you like that segue?
I love the segue. It's fun to ride.
So the raids are not going to be open for about 2 to 2.5 weeks. What do you guys think of that?
I like it because now I'm not going to be stressed out leveling. I can take my time because it takes me about a week, usually real life stuff and all that BS, to level to max level when an expansion
about server
releases.
first?
Nope.
I don't go
care.
for that
This is
anymore.
stupid. Should be open the next week. If the game comes out on the 14th, the raid should open up next Tuesday because I'm going to be leveling the entire goddamn weekend and I want to raid the next week.
Whatever. It gives you plenty of time to gear up for the raids, gives you time to experience challenge modes and other high level, max level content.
But the fun of seeing the race to world first is seeing who could scrounge it up the fastest.
Mm-hmm.
When everybody's on the same playing field going into week 2, it's not that exciting.
You're right, but
Of course I'm right.
It'll still be exciting. It's
I'm
still
always
going to
right.
be exciting.
That's debatable.
I'm so right that everything else is left.
We're getting in chat. Geach is saying that this X-Pack doesn't have server first.
Well, okay. I don't believe there's any titles. I don't know if there's achievements or not.
Well, even though there may not be an achievement for server first, blah blah blah. There's websites that track that stuff, and they're going to be watching it to get server first. So there is it's still.
I know for a fact the titles are gone. I think the races and all that are gone, but I don't know if the server first. Like I think that one might still be intact. I don't know for sure. I can't confirm that.
It's in beta as server first for like professions, so I wouldn't see why not.
Yeah. I did hear something about server first going away. I don't know to what extent and all that, but we'll have to see.
Nope.
But
2.5
normal and
weeks.
heroic high mall will be 2.5 weeks, December 2nd in the US, December 3rd in the EU. Then Mythic and LFR will open a week later on December 9th. And then several weeks after that, the second raid will open. So this is even like we had in Wrath of the Lich King when we had Naxxramas, we had the
Eye of Eternity.
Eye of Eternity and the Black Deck area. What was that? The Three Drake. I don't remember the name of that. I can't talk right now.
Obsidian
Sanctum.
That-
Couldn't
yeah, that
remember
one.
the name of the boss. They had all 3 of those open, and I remember my server was going on a mad race. Like people were trying to work it out. Naxxramas was the first one to go. Like that was the first one that was cleared. Oh no,
Pretty easy.
I take that back. Sarth was the first one. Because nobody was doing 3 Drake. They were just zerging the actual boss. So that was the first to go. Nax was second, and Malagos was third. That was the final one. And it was a race because people were legitimately trying. One guild was going off, and they were trying Malagos while we were working on Nax, and then they realized Malagos was a little more difficult. My guild ended up getting all 3. So, it was really clutch race. It was a lot of fun. But
Well, I mean,
I feel like all that's going to be gone. Like,
That's fine. I understand why they're doing it. Just speaking from the terms of Wrath, having all 3 open. Obviously, yes, I agree. It gives the guild choice on which raids they want to go after. But, obviously, Nax is the easiest one, and then Malagos was going to be the hardest one.
Yeah.
This way, releasing one raid at a time, not guilds that are trying to shoot for, world first or whatever, they actually have something to focus on now. Their path's already set. Yes, we know we're going to this raid at this time. We're going to go after these bosses. We're not worrying about some other guild at this time going after some other raid or having to gear up for that raid. We've got our mind focused on this one. So I understand why they're doing it.
Yeah. Then we had UK subscription price is increasing.
EU,
so
right? No, it's just UK.
Just UK. Secure your price for the next 2 years by locking in your subscription now. If you do have any kind of reoccurring subscription, then you will stay for 2 years. For the 30-day one is moving from it's moving up to €9 from €8. The 90 days moving up to 28.17 from 25.17, and the 180 is moving up to 52.14 from 64.14. So lock those in now.
Basically, $1 a month increase no matter what plan you're on.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
more or less. Also, I don't want to go too much into this because this could be a podcast in itself.
Oh God.
WoW 2 was mentioned at Gamescom in an interview with Tom Chilton.
Oh boy.
Brief thoughts on this.
I honestly, the more I think about it, the more it honestly shouldn't happen. I mean, I would love for, Titan to be this WoW 2 with updated graphics, stuff like that, but playing the game for, a decade now, we've gotten used to the art style. We know what WoW looks like. We know what the lore is. Just pump out expansions. Don't worry about another WoW 2.
As much as I would love to see a vastly overhauled, graphical style and cool effects and everything, I got to agree with Cody. Stick to what you're good at right now.
Yeah.
Don't try something new because it could flop.
I'd like to see them do something along the lines of what EverQuest tried to do with EverQuest 2, and it took place so many years in the future, and both games were still running at the same time. It would be interesting, and I think WoW can pull it off, but we got to get WoW into a secure place first. They've been talking about how they wanted to do an expansion every year since Wrath of the Lich King, and that certainly has not happened yet.
Yeah,
They've given some reasonable explanations for why that has not happened. They did increase the team, but that included having to retrain the team, et cetera, et cetera. So they said now they could probably pump out content a lot faster than where they did at the beginning of Mists, and I believe them.
Great.
So
Yeah, I believe them. That would be great.
See. We'll see if they're able to do that and get this all going, and then those people can start retraining people and get this. You could get a whole another giant team working on WoW 2, and it would be super awesome.
Yep.
In other news, Diablo 3, the Ultimate Evil Edition, releases this week for consoles. I know a lot of people on PS4 that are looking forward to this. I myself don't plan on buying it for console. I already have it PC.
Same.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, I've sunk so much time into it PC.
I mean, I did get a chance to play console. One of my friends has it. I did get to play a little bit hands-on, and it is a lot of fun, and it actually feels a lot more fluid on a console than it does on the PC. That's not going to ever change my decision on which version to buy, just because every Blizzard game that has a collector's edition I own, and they don't make those kind of collector's editions for consoles yet. So when you start doing that, Blizzard, you'll start getting more money from me.
Yes.
We're going to jump to Heroes of the Storm next. We'll do Hearthstone last.
Ooh.
So there was a new trailer that was at Gamescom. Did you guys happen to catch this?
I
Yes.
did, of course.
What'd you guys think of it? I haven't seen it yet. I've been
Oh.
extremely busy. So if you guys want to describe it a little bit.
It just really showed off the three new. Well, they're not really new.
The three,
The three-
playable in the Gamescom
Yeah.
build heroes.
So it was more like a it wasn't like a trailer. It was
No.
a
It was a gameplay trailer,
reveal
just
gameplay. Okay.
like a gameplay preview more.
yeah.
Like, oh look, this is what this is what's going in, and this is what they do, and what they do looks like.
Well, I mean, the one thing I found disappointing in the trailer was when they showed off Garden of Terror. They really didn't show off like enough of the mechanic that makes it interesting. They just said, they just showed off the big golem and whatever, and you're like, okay. This
Look,
is
they're
not-
these big plant monsters.
Yeah.
Not really.
So,
Didn't
other
go
than
well.
that, I mean, I guess the main focus for me was showing off the three new champions or heroes, and that was worthwhile to me.
We got what, Chen, Asmodon, and Anubarak, right?
Yeah.
Coming soon, I have pictures.
Hopefully.
So what did you guys think of those three?
Chen is my new favorite hero.
Look, there's his face. There's
I
his
know,
picture.
He's awesome.
I like
Yes.
the idea of Chen splitting for his ultimate, Storm, Earth, and Fire.
I still want to know if you can play them as separately though.
I would like to know if you can control them separately or if they're going to be AI, how that's going to
Yeah.
work. We have Enubarak, who can burrow under stuff and things like that. They can't see this. Hold on. This.
I brought you one of your lemonades. I also traveled through the dark portal.
Wow.
Thank you. He's gone.
Why don't you go get an actual real drink for a change?
This'll work. I don't know where I was. He completely shocked me.
A new Barack. Going underground.
Right, he can
he's got
burrow.
Yeah, as soon as he pops out from being burrowed, he can stun you're temporarily stunned if you catch an enemy hero, and
Yeah, it sounds like he's going to be this typical whatever the hell Crypt Lord from Warcraft, from Frozen Throne. Impale, carrion beetles, that sort of thing.
he's got like an AOE, like a short range AOE, like around him of spikes.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to say he's a tank, but I'm not 100% sure.
I don't know what he's going to be. And then we got Asmodon.
Yeah, he's a specialist, straight up.
Oh, yeah. And more lovely models with awkward nipples is all I got to say. But
I don't like how they sealed up his stomach, though, because he looked really cool in Diablo 3, where there was, like, flames coming out of it. Now it's all, like, sealed up. And I don't like it.
Yeah, I agree. Asmodon looks interesting because he's got his little growing pool ability and stuff like that.
Yeah. His little death laser thing that he shoots.
Death
It'll be
laser.
definitely be interesting to play.
Now
I
I
still-
can't unsee those nipples.
Sorry. They're always going to be
You
there.
ruined this for me.
Hey, at least it's not like Stitches where it's a smiley face.
Oh, yeah.
That's more entertaining though. So which of the three are you guys most excited to try?
Chen, have you not seen my Twitter handle?
Nope.
What am I most excited to try? I want to try Asmodon a lot. I'm curious how he's going to play, but most excited is Chen because of his ults. I want to see how that works.
See, and
I'm
Anubarak
playing around in a barrel.
Anubarak is the one that seems more interesting to me.
You know what? He does seem very interesting with that
Yeah.
burrow because it showed you able to burrow through and under terrain.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely going to be interesting, especially on Garden Terror when you're actually trying to go after the bigger plants during the night cycle.
It's gonna be like original Murky for me all over again. It's break the way you play the game.
Right. It's
So-
It's the first terrain bypassing that you really, truly have. Long range terrain bypassing. I mean, you got Murden who can jump over and
Abathur.
Abathur, and you got Zeratul blink and things like that. But this is just a let's just go right under.
Yep.
Yep. So be super interesting. I can't wait for it.
I don't know if we talked about it last week, but we're actually now starting to see professional teams. being
Yeah.
created. Now, Curse has announced that they've actually got a Heroes of the Storm team ready for BlizzCon. I'm not sure who else has announced who they've got, but as far as that is concerned, that gives me great hope for esports in Heroes of the Storm.
Right. And I know some of those. I know people have been, forming full 5-man teams and scrimmaging as if they were on a competitive level just to see how it will work. You're not going to see. I mean, Blizzard has respectfully asked that you don't do any tournaments yet, but
Right.
well, it's giving me hope too. I mean, they're planning it. They're getting ready. Like, they want this to be a thing too. It's not just
Yeah.
us who want it to be a thing.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
We'll see.
So Hearthstone. The new latest and greatest wing
the latest and the
been-
greatest.
has been released, the Construct Footer.
Yeah.
I'm just going to start out by saying, fuck heroic Grobulus.
Oh, why?
Why? Whatever could you mean?
Do tell.
This
I'm
is the
interested.
one. This is the only time I have taken a wing and I've not finished it on the night that I started.
Oh no.
I finished the other 3 bosses, but I had to come back the next night for Grobulus.
Did
It
you
was-
dial? Oh wait, no, yours is still.
So
Yeah, you're supposed to
Grobulus'
die.
original hero power, right, on normal, is he deals 1 damage to all minions, his and mine, and any minion that he kills with that hero power will summon a slime, a 2/2 slime,
For him or you?
for him. Any
That
minion
sucks.
he kills.
Well, that was the fight for Grobulus. Slimes.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Heroic Grobulus deals 2 damage, but only to your minions.
Ew.
Ha!
And he can use that every turn, right?
In
Wow.
fact, it costs 0 mana, and he starts out every turn doing it.
So basically, he just has board clear built in
Yeah.
to his every turn.
And not only is it your minions, it's you as well.
Oh.
So it's a
I'm-
15-turn time limit, basically.
So
yeah.
priest or druid?
It was bad. I actually did it with a frost mage after numerous tries. The combo that I thought I was gonna be super awesome and like bypass and really win with it was I had this idea to take the gargoyle, which auto heals itself to full health at the end of every turn,
Yeah.
and I was trying to get gargoyle out and then power word shield it and then double its health, give it match the attack power as a priest, and then put taunt on it. And then it would never die because he would just ram all his minions into it. But I think I tried that combo like 30 times and I could never get it to line up properly, and it was super annoying. So I eventually had to give that up and go Frost Mage, and I actually beat him with, I think, 1 health left or something like that. It was,
Oh, that must have been a great feeling.
oh, it was, oh. And then what did it for me was I took the Pyroblasts out of my deck and I replaced them with Molten Giants because they end up costing 0 mana
Oh,
because you're taking so much damage. So yeah, it was super ridiculous fight, and that is actually the hardest one we've had yet. And there's only 2 fights left. We have Kel'Thuzad and Saffron. Saffron, I'm a little worried about. Kel'Thuzad, I don't know. I've not spoiled them for myself, so I don't know what their hero powers are going in advance. But I know the Kel'Thuzad card itself is at the end of your turn, at the end of any turn, as long as he's in play, the card, it will resurrect all your minions that died on that turn. So if the enemy clears all your minions out except for Kel'Thuzad, and Kel'Thuzad is left at the start of your turn, all your minions come back.
Not bad.
Interesting.
If you clear all your minions out on your turn, or I think it's at the end of turn, not at the start. If you clear all your minions out at the end of your turn, he brings them all back. So
That's just very nice.
it's going to be a ridiculous card, so I can't wait for it. But this week some of the new cards that we did get, we have down below in this lovely frame down here for you.
Starting with Zombie Chow.
Zombie Chow. This is a very interesting card. For 1 mana, you get a 2/3. Like, that seems ridiculously overpowered.
Yep.
Till you get to the death rattle, restore 5 health to the enemy minion. Right?
thanks.
So
Enemy hero,
that's-
yeah.
Or enemy hero, yeah. So that seems awful, right? There's been some brutal
Sounds-
combinations with this card already. Brutal combinations, right? Number 1, or worst case scenario, you play this on turn 1, right?
Yeah.
You get a minion that's going to end up trading, like you trade it off with like a slime, which is a 3/2, something like that. you trade it off, it does nothing because the enemy minion is at he's at full health anyway, so it trades off and you just whatever. So it works. However, you couple this card with the I forget I don't have Hearthstone in front of me right now, but it's a priest card, which all your healing spells and cards deal damage instead of healing.
Yep.
And now all of a sudden, this thing does 5 damage to the enemy hero.
Oh, that's nasty.
Couple
Makes
that
sense.
with Baron Rivendare, does 10 damage.
So for 1 mana, you got a 2/3 that they have to silence, otherwise it's going to deal 10 guaranteed damage.
Not guaranteed. 'Cause
Well, yeah, not guaranteed.
the stars
Yeah,
align.
yeah, the stars got to
You have
align,
other
but
cards in play. But yeah, you can.
that's yeah.
There's really been some awesome, interesting cards. Noxious he's the first one that really started playing around with this, and I've actually been watching him earlier this week build this deck around this combo wombo, as he calls it, and it is insane. So it's definitely something to check out, watch out for. Zombie Chow is not to be underestimated.
That's more. Yeah, I just love all the new stuff they're coming out with.
It's incredible the way
Strategies.
people are figuring out how to use these cards. Like when I first saw that card, I was like, I'd never ever consider putting that in a deck, and it seemed good. Next up, we got the Undertaker, not the WWF Undertaker. But whenever you play a minion with a Death Rattle, you gain +1/+1. He's a 1/2 for 1 mana. Pretty awesome starting hand. Especially you have him with a couple of leper gnomes or something, and this card ends up getting beefy quick.
Leper gnomes.
So there's a lot of like Zombie Chow. He'll buff it. Like there's a lot of 1/1 card, 1 mana cards now that'll buff it. A lot of like almost all these cards that are in Nax are Death Rattle. So this card, if not dealt with quickly, can get out of hand. But yeah. Next up we have
Mad
the Mad
Scientist.
Scientist. Death Rattle, put a secret from your deck into the battlefield. It's interesting. It's a little too random. It depends on your deck. If you only have 1 secret in your deck, then it's awesome because you know what you're getting. But if you're relying on it to pull like a specific secret out of 3 that you have in your deck or something like that, it's a little too random.
Yeah.
So the nice part about this is it increases your odds of getting your secret onto the battlefield.
Yeah.
If it's something like a mage, your secrets cost 3 mana, so getting this out for 2 mana it's nice because you save 1 mana by doing it.
Yep.
Hunter is 2 mana, all their secrets, so it's pretty much the same. And Paladin, it's a little waste because Paladin secrets cost 1 mana. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are Mad Scientists are using it in conjunction with Eaglehorn Bow, as Rajan is stating in chat, and it is a good combination because it's increasing your chances of getting a secret onto the deck just by having them out on the playing field. Just by having them in your deck, you go from a 2 in 30 chance to a 4 in 30 chance if you only play 2 secrets. So definitely increasing it there.
It's not bad.
But next up we got Wailing Soul, right?
Yep.
Battle Cry, silence your other minions. For 4 mana, it's a 3/5. It's really not impressive.
No,
It's
I mean,
pretty average. Even take the Battle Cry out of play, it's pretty average. I personally don't see that great of a use for it. Like the only real one that I could consider, because it doesn't silence your enemy minions, it's your minions.
Yeah.
So the only real benefit I could see is if you're playing this on like turn 10 or turn 8 or something like that, and you need 8 damage to the hero, and you have Ragnaros on the board, and the other guy has no taunts up, you can bring Wailing Soul out, summon Ragnaros, and deal 8 damage direct at the face instead of RNGing his face. That's really the only possible thing I can come up
Yeah.
with. I'm sure somebody's got some... Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, Ancient Watcher, I forgot about him. So, I guess Ancient Watcher is decent. Yeah, it is all other minions. So it would silence Baron Rivendare. Like,
yeah.
it's just
There's probably going to be some epic use someone finds for it, and we're going to
Yeah.
all be like, Wow,
I can see the
cool.
Ancient Watchers. I can see those. That would actually not be too bad because they can't attack. They're like, what are they, 4/5s or something like that? They can't attack.
Yep.
4, 5.
So
Yeah, there's
yeah,
something.
you slap the two of them out for 2 mana, and then turn 5 you play Wailing Soul, or at very minimum turn 4 if you play them on turn 2 and 3.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so that works.
Not bad.
So next up we have Fugan and Stalag.
No.
No,
Dark Cultist, sir.
Dark Cultist. Okay, so we're doing the priest class challenge. So
Yep.
Dark Cultist, Death Rattle, give a random friendly minion +3 health for 3 mana, 3/4. Pretty decent card. I'm pretty sure Noxious has actually removed this out of his deck because it wasn't doing what he needed it to do. Because what they end up doing is they kill everything before that card and then kill that last, and it doesn't do
Yep.
anything. So
Yep.
Yeah, and it's minion. It doesn't heal you,
Right.
hero. So.
it's not heal. It adds 3 health. It's not
Oh yeah, I'm sorry.
So
Adds 3 health.
yeah. It could be interesting, especially if you have a bunch of cards on the playing field and they have a bigger minion that you know you're going to ram that into, and there's uses for it, but it doesn't seem the most practical of the class cards, in my opinion. I think it's probably the weakest of all the class cards.
Yeah, I can see that.
Then we got Death Spite, Warrior class challenge card.
Weapon.
4 mana, 4/2. This is basically the Warriors' answer to the Paladins 4/2. What was it? Sword? Not Sword of Justice. True Silver.
Yes,
True
True
Silver
Silver Champion.
Yeah. But this has Death Rattle deal 1 damage to all minions. So after you use all charges, or if it is removed from your hand by Harrison Jones or
Slime.
the Slime or the Corsair Pirate, then this will trigger, will deal 1 damage. It does 1 damage to your minions as well.
Free Whirlwind.
Yeah. So it's interesting. I've seen some good uses out of it.
Yeah.
Works pretty well.
Yeah.
So, finally, the last 2 up is Fugan and Stalag. Okay? They are basically mirror copies of each other for 5 mana. They are a 4/7 or a 7/4. And their Death Rattle is if the other one dies earlier in the fight, that they will now summon Thaddeus.
Thaddeus.
And Thaddeus is a 11/11
Yeah.
card. I think he's a 10 mana cost if he gets sent back to your hand. I'm not 100% sure on that. But I'm pretty
I
sure
think
he
you're
is.
right on that one.
Yeah. I have been playing around with a shaman deck with the reincarnate spell and ancestral spirit, which adds Death Rattle effect. Resummon this minion to the deck, and I've put Fugan out first because put him out on like turn 5. People deal with him. Then on like turn 9, I slip out Baron Rivendare and Stalag, and then if Stalag is not killed, then because they kind of avoid it at that point because they don't want Thaddeus out, so they're trying to rush you down at that point. They're dealing with the 7 damage. They don't want to use that 4, and in that time, the next turn I'll slap down Ancestral Spirit, and then Reincarnate, and I ended up one fight with like 11 or not 11. I'm looking at the card you just put up.
Sorry.
5 Thaddeus's on the board, and it was ridiculous.
Yeah, and it is 10 mana. To
My
confirm
minions
that.
ended up getting pushed off. Like it was trying to create more minions than I was able to fit on the board, and the guy just ended up conceding. It was it was amazing. So
It's like the Leroy Jenkins.
yeah. Then
Yeah.
they even showed another one with Ragnaros too. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of things like that. I do believe we have a few Twitter questions though. I'd like to get to before we close this show out.
Yeah. What do you want to start with first? You want to start with general game related?
Surprise us.
All right, I'm gonna surprise you. Let's take a look at what we got here. We'll
No,
do that.
I don't want to do that one.
I'm not doing that one. Calm down. I'm going to pull one up from Mr. Michael Byrne. And there you go.
You all know I'm a PvE Care Bear. Yeah, we know that,
Yeah.
Mr. Burns.
So am I.
Mr.
So am I.
Burns. Not Burn, Mr. Burns. So what feature in Warlords of Draenor would you sell me to help me decide if this X-Pack is enough to come back? Hashtag GBN Live.
He's in chat too. Yo.
Oh, yo. Okay, so you want a PvE Care Bear feature that's gonna keep you coming back. You could raid with me, Mr. Byrne.
God, no, I would literally cancel my subscription.
You
Just
can
from that. Just
You
from
could-
that.
You could join the Game Breaker Nation and we could start a mythic raiding group.
you can let me tank for you in anything raid wise. I'll show my credentials later, but
To be completely honest, though, I think the storytelling has been ramped up in this game, and as a PvE Care Bear, I feel the story is probably the most important part to you, and just to see where Mists of Pandaria has come in storytelling, and what Draenor is already shaping up to be in the beta, I
Yeah.
really think you're going to enjoy just the flat out story.
One word. I got one word.
Garrison.
Or more. Well, yes, garrisons. But I was gonna say, if you're a fan of, and they mentioned this at the event in LA on Thursday, if you're a fan of the RTS style of Warcraft 1 and 2 and 3, Garrisons is for you. You know, it's got that RTS feeling. So if you really like the RTS style of Warcraft, you know, that's Garrisons is what you're going to want to do in Warlords.
Yeah, I've heard the same thing. Garrisons I've played around with them a lot. They give you more to do, like, and you're constantly striving for something that's always, you know, missions you can send your guys out on, and they can come back with a ton of stuff, gear, rare, epics, you know, resources, yeah, you know, trade goods, all kinds of fun stuff. We could spend the next half hour talking about everything you can do in a garrison. It's just so much stuff. I mean, from, you know, little fun things from goblin engineers to, you know, actually useful things like buffs and stuff. Garrisons.
Yep. Garrisons.
Mr. Byrne, Mike is in the chat right now. He says that he's Alliance and he's in the Game Breaker Nation.
Well, that's his issue right there.
You're playing the wrong faction.
Yeah.
You know, there is no wrong faction. I played Alliance for 9 years and Horde for
There is a wrong faction, and it's the faction that wears blue.
Let's not get into the Horde and Alliance debate. Next up, we got a question from Goofy Spartan.
Oh, yep, we do have one. Come on.
If you were stuck on an island for 10 years, who would you choose to help you survive on the island?
Not Zista.
Dang it! Quit stealing my shit!
Me?
No, actually, from knowing him...
No. I would not want to spend the next 10 years with you because you die in the first 3 seconds. And then, you know what?
This isn't Gilligan's Island.
Who would I... Bear Grylls, or whatever his last name is.
What were you going to say, Mike? You said something.
Knowing you know, from real life, you wouldn't be the most terrible person to be stuck on an island with.
I'd be the most entertaining person.
Yes, if I was going to die, I would die with a smile on my face. But
and a knife in your front.
it would be who's Survivor Man? Les Shroud is the other Survivor Man guy. I'd take him with me because hoping he wouldn't cook me and eat me, but assuming that didn't happen, I'd probably survive very well. Not Bear
I could tell you another person I would not want to be stuck on an island with.
Who's that?
He's the guy running our show.
Total? Nah.
Nope.
Let's see. If I
There we go.
got stuck on an island for 10 years alone, I would like to get stuck on the island with Justin Bieber.
just so you can kill yourself in the first 10 seconds?
So I could kill him because murder
Oh.
is not a felony on that island.
Touche. I'm gonna use your same thing. It goes Miley
but to help me
Cyrus.
survive, I'd have to pick like the highest profile celebrity. Like, who is it? Like
Justin Bieber,
Pitbull or
probably.
something right now? Just get like the most famous guy, and the whole world is gonna go nuts looking for him, and I know I'm gonna get rescued.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's my key to survival right there. If I could pick, keep in mind if I had to pick.
Yeah. I agree. Pick someone high profile that they're going to definitely search for.
Yes.
Bill Gates.
Got a quick one up next here.
Next up, we got from Jake and Ader. Unfortunately, Jake, I am very sorry that we're not taking live callers tonight. Technical issues, Dark Portal issues. So Jake and Ader tweets in and says, "Lords of War or Lords of Nail Cringe?"
God, stop reminding me about that.
How about Lords of... That dude just ripped his arm out of socket and smashed his hand.
I thought I was watching a scene out of the next Saw movie.
He might as well have been.
It was very, very
He doesn't want us to
unpleasant.
cut through our chains. He wants us to cut through our feet, or in this case, our arms.
Good
With
stuff.
a rock.
Lords,
Or-
it was... Yeah.
Did you ever see that movie with I'm terrible with actors' names. The Green Goblin dude.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about. I
Wait,
know
what's
his
up?
name.
No,
The other one, his son.
But he was
Oh,
in
I
it
know
was
what
like
you're talking
182 hours. Or
James Franco.
183
Got
hours.
it.
James
There we
Franco,
go.
Yeah. 183 hours, something like that. The sound effect when he was cutting through his arm with the pocket knife.
Okay, we're done. We're done. We're done.
Moving on.
Next question.
Moving
The
on.
the noise they make makes me cringe to this day.
We're going to a question from one of our community members. Officer
Nick,
for
someone-
another game.
Nick Baker, aka Nabari, does making announcements at Gamescom but not attending E3 make the NA market less important for Blizzard? Do you think
No.
that guys ruins the North American market?
No, because the EU market is a lot smaller, and they need to sell more in the EU than they do in the NA. So they need to announce more and make more bang for their buck announcements over there, because we already know about their announcements over here before the EU does.
Yep.
What he said, that was more eloquent than what I can say
Yep.
on the topic. I mean, yeah, that.
Yep.
All right.
So I think that about does it for our Twitter questions, right?
We have one more, but we can do it after you want to plug it.
We have one more that we will do in post show, right?
Okay.
Oh no, this one. Oh, this one. So yeah, a question from Total Deletion.
All right, here we go. REP.
Where would you be right now if you never joined GB Nation? Hashtag
I don't know, I'd be.
GBN Live.
Where would you be?
I'd be at Bro Grounds.
I'd be where half of my tunes actually still are, and that's Strength and Honor on Mediv.
All right, so I think I'd still kind of be in the same spot because it's not. I don't want to degrade the Game Breaker Nation because that's not what I'm doing here. But Game Breaker itself, because it doesn't say if Game Breaker never exists. It's if the Game Breaker Nation never exists. So just the Game Breaker community in general is actually where I would be, which is still where I am now. So it's kind of a loaded question here. I probably would be in a guild with all you guys and some of our other friends that we've made through the Game Breaker community.
Bro
Like
Grounds.
it's more or less that, but it's like it just
Or Triple B.
I never would have met Mike because if it wasn't for Game Breaker, I never would have met Mike because I met Mike through his wife, and his wife was hanging out with Lore, like in Lore's chat and like stuff like that, and I met her through that and calling in on After Darks and things like that. That's how I met not half. That's how I met all of you people.
Yeah,
So
that's
if
how
you're
I
I
was
just
gonna
would.
say, I'm pretty sure we met everybody through the original inception of Game Breaker Nation, and it just expanded from there, and including, BlizzCon last year just kind of cemented everything.
Yeah,
Right,
I
so
mean,
if without
That-
Game Breaker Nation, I'd still be here with you guys. But
yeah.
I'm gonna expand this, and without Game Breaker, just without Game Breaker, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think I'd be playing this game right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't be having as much fun as I was.
That's for sure.
I mean, I wouldn't have Heroes access.
Mike Byrne. Mike Byrne. What Zista means
Oh my God.
by that is he'd still be stalking me and sending me unsolicited and unwanted nudes.
Most likely.
Byrne,
Probably.
you weren't supposed to tell people that I was doing this before I met you on Game Breaker. Now it just seems weird.
It does seem kind of weird, guys.
I mean, not that it was any less weird that I did it after you became a big
Person.
celebrity. But now this is awkward.
Welcome
So,
to the
I
awkward corner.
I think that about wraps this show up. If you guys have not joined Game Breaker Nation,
Do it.
Mike is actually going to tell you a little bit about Game Breaker Nation right now while I go visit the Dark Portal.
Oh God. Anyway, Game Breaker Nation. What do we got?
Is that what you call your toilet?
That's what he calls the toilet, as you've seen in our bottom left corner.
Oh.
I know, it broke me so bad. Anyway, I can't do it. Game Breaker Nation, we are a community of like-minded individuals who play a multitude of games together, various MMOs such as World of Warcraft ASO, Final Fantasy XIV, Old Republic, Rift, a whole bunch of crazy stuff. Great stuff. Come to GameBreakerNation.com if you're interested for more information and to sign up and other stuff like that. I now have a Viking helmet.
I'm kicking you out.
What?
Kicking you out.
Get
Get out of here.
Get out of this dark
Get out of
portal.
here. You're leaving.
Thank God I started the music.
You're leaving. Go.
I'm taking my lemonade with me.
Yeah. So, how did I get over here? So, yeah. Join us. GameBreakerNation.com. Do it. Do it now. Do it. Cody, where can the people find you?
You can find me at Can't Heals down below, on Twitter, on Twitch at Can't Heals, on YouTube at The Can't Heals, and Facebook at Can't Heals. Yeah, about all there. I'm everywhere.
Mike!
I get around.
Mike! How did you get there, Mike?
What did I say about going through the
You're muted,
toilet?
Mike. Mike, you're muted.
You are so muted. It is funny.
A really surreal fucking experience is all I gotta say.
How did you go through the Dark Portal?
Yeah.
You went to the toilet?
You're not Zista.
No, I'm not. How did that get down there?
That says Zista down there.
That says Zista down there. I don't know. Anyway, you can find me on Twitter at Thilladren, THILLADREN.
You can find me, which is not Michael Corman, not at Thilladren. You can find me at Zista, at Zista _.
Need me to drink, guys. This is horrible.
You broke it.
I did break it. So until next week, where Cody
It's never
breaks
gonna
the
load
frame.
now.
Until next week, this is Dom. We'll see you guys later.
Bye, guys.
I'm gonna go back to building.
Yeah.